During the whole process of having this property, we were indeed able to raise up all the cash that we needed to pay off completely.
So effectively, we were unofficially mortgage free.
Exactly.
So the outstanding balance of our mortgage, we had it in cash. So had we have wanted to pay that all off and just live without a mortgage for life, we could have.
Hi guys.
Hello guys, what's going on?
Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome back.
Alright, so today we will be discussing how we prepared our property for renting.
Yes.
But first of all, as you probably would be wanting to know, is why did we decide to rent instead of sell?
Why did we?
We're already financially stable, and we find that, well, in all honesty, usually when people decide to sell their property, it's because they're looking for that, that lump sum cash in order to purchase another property. In our case, we really did not have any problems saving up new money, and we managed to get quite a bit of new money in order to purchase our new property. So it was a thing where we were already very stable financially, and therefore we could actually hold on to the property and not have to sell.
Number two, the reason why we did not sell is we're just holding it for capital appreciation. With time, of course, we find that property is a lucrative investment, and of course, as we've already established over our previous vlogs, it does grow as time goes on, and you get capital appreciation within your property.
Exactly. Number three is cash flow. So obviously, if you sell, you know that you're going to get that lump sum of cash immediately. It's right there. However, when you hold on to the property and you rent it out, you are getting that constant cash flow, and every month, and that can go on for years and years, 10 years plus if you want to. So that obviously was more lucrative to us than just selling and getting that one-off payment. Along with that, during the whole process of having this property, we were indeed able to raise up all the cash that we needed to pay off completely.
So effectively, we were unofficially mortgage free.
Exactly.
So the outstanding balance of our mortgage, we had it in cash. So had we have wanted to pay that all off and just live without a mortgage for life, we could have. But I mean, come on, that is a madness. Like seriously, that deserves you lot need to smash the like button for that. Come on, what the hell? Like, think about it. We've been here for 4 years, and within 4 years, we were in a position where we could actually finish the whole mortgage. That deserves a like. And a comment.
And a share. So we had that. We were able to do that, but we just thought we might as well use that new money that we've made and use it to purchase another property and hold on to it. So cash flow was, is going to continue.
Made sense.
It made sense to just rent it out to get that constant cash flow coming in. And last but not least, number 4, this is our home. This is our first ever home. And
you've got, I would say you more than I do, you've got a bit of an attachment to it, emotional attachment to
definitely.
It.
I won't lie. I get attached to things. And of course, my first ever home, we purchased this at 25. So, that just meant that selling it would be gone forever in a sense, but knowing that we're renting it out, we it's still ours. We still control what happens to it. And I think though I'm very happy to be moving, it's a new journey, all of that stuff. I think if we were selling, I'd be a little bit more sad knowing that this is it and I will never have the property again. But because we're renting it out, I feel like it's still there, so it's like,
bottom line is there was no need to sell it. I mean, at the end of the day, if we sell this house, the money would just be sat there in our account waiting to be reinvested and most likely in another property.
So it made no sense. And of course, we become landlord and landlady.
Yes, indeed.
So that was an achievement because, like I said, we're working for our retirement plan right now. And this is just the beginning. So
it's the beginning. Right. So of course, prior to after getting the other property, prior to letting out this current property, what did we have to do in preparation for letting out the current property that we're in? Well, first thing first, we realized, of course, being here after 4 years, that there were a few things out of place that we needed to fix or repair. Some of which were the windows. Of course, we did mention in our previous vlog that we had an issue with one of our windows that wasn't locking properly. And after getting quotes to having it repaired or replaced, we found that it would have been better to just replace everything. So during the lockdown, the early lockdown or the first lockdown, we decided to replace all of our windows in the property.
And that was quite beneficial because obviously with the replacement of the windows, the energy rating, became a lot better, and we were able to keep heat within the property, and it was a lot warmer. So it was beneficial because then we were using less electricity, and
yeah, of course. And also as well, after that, to let out the property, we needed an electrical safety certificate, which is an EICR. Yeah. And for those of you who do not know, property regulations changes from time to time. Our property, of course, was built within the 1960s, 1970s. Between then and now, regulations has changed. And one of those regulations is the fact that your electricity has to have what is called a circuit breaker, basically an RCD, which is a device that basically detects whenever you have a faulty device that could effectively ruin all of the electricity. So what it does is it just isolates that circuit where that device is. So what they done is they literally came to our house and they tested every circuit. They tested all the switches, all the plugs, all the lights, and of course, knowing our house had been built, in between 1960 and 1970, no other work has been done with this. It's not been upgraded since then, so therefore it needed to be upgraded this time, which of course did cost us a bit of money, and they sort of turned the house upside down. Susan wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah, but obviously it needed to be done. And now we've got it, we are good to go.
And along with that, we had to get a gas safety certificate.
Yes. So
and what does that entail?
With the gas safety certificate, it just meant that our boiler and the gas cooker had to be tested, and if it passed the test, then of course we were able to rent out the property. It was safe enough to rent out the property, but of course there are situations where it could fail, and then we would have to, I don't even know what would happen then.
Well, when he came down and he carried out the test, he realised that it was something so minor, which was the pipe, what's it called? The ventilation pipe that comes out of the property, at the other end of the property. It wasn't a certain length, and therefore he was like, oh, it's an instant fail. We hadn't even done anything.
Oh, really?
And then he was like, it's an instant fail. And I was like, really? Can you fix it? Because I don't want to get a new boiler. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
And then he then said to me, no, we need to extend it out. However, I need to go back on the regulations and check because, it's too close to a combustion material, which was the drainage pipe made of metal, and just, telling me things that I don't, he could have literally lied to me then and I have no clue. But luckily he was like, oh no, you guys just about got away with it. So, I mean, to the naked eye or to the untrained person, you wouldn't even know what you're looking for, but they know what they're looking for in a sense.
So we managed to pass that and get the certificate for that. Next up was the roof. So we did our roof, mainly because the felt and the batten was non-existent. So it basically just meant that the roof was falling apart.
Yeah, well, it wasn't falling apart. The tiles were good. But it was just the waterproof material that prevents rain from getting in. That had literally aged and just disappeared.
And funny enough, we never had a leak situation. So even though that was the way it was, we didn't actually experience a leak, which is good because I think that would have obviously caused further problems. So of course we had to redo that. Otherwise, if we had left it, then for sure at some point we could have experienced leakage. And
as well, a little tip as well, because I had a number of quotations, and throughout the quotation I was trying to get some consistency between the quotations that I received, and one of those consistencies that I got was that our tiles were in good condition. So there was no need to replace those tiles. However, it still needed to be removed and then refelt and batten to be put back in, and the insulation. So that saved us a lot of money.
Yeah, definitely. I think it only saved us a lot of money because this is why it's so important to get quotes and get multiple quotes. It's a bit annoying, it's a bit long-winded to have different people coming into your house and quoting you, and it could take a bit of time, but it does allow you to know whether a quote is indeed too ambitious or is a bit too high, so if whereabouts you should sit somewhere in the middle, because we remember we had a quote for a lot higher and then we got a really low quote, and I was just like, we need to get another one and see who's telling the truth, if it's the higher end person or the lower end person, and we met somewhere in the middle. So therefore we knew that, okay, this is roughly how much the work does cost.
And for those of you who would want to know where we get our quotes from or our workmen from, we've said it before, they actually need to sponsor us. So we get our workers from Checkers Trader and also our My Builder. Those are the two websites that I use, and I find them really nice.
And actually, always read reviews.
Always read reviews.
Yeah. Next, regarding the preparation, was the cosmetic changes we did. So as you guys know, we are constantly looking for ways to improve the property. We naturally are quite tidy and clean, so whenever there's a fault somewhere or whenever there's a scratch or anything,
Kore the builder's on it.
We get on it and we try and tidy it up, because it just saves you so much time. And if you know you're going to rent your property or you have the possibility of renting in the future, then it's better to stay on top of things like, you know, painting and little bits here and there than to leave it until last minute when you're ready to rent, because then it will be a much bigger job than you need. And of course, so you did retouches of paint.
Yeah, I did retouches of painting. You know, fixed a few things that were out of order. Literally just give it a good tidy, really.
Yeah, we also have a carpet cleaner. So if you have a property with a carpet, I would definitely advise that you invest in a carpet cleaner.
Rug ductor.
They're not very expensive, although people sometimes, you know, get hire cleaners to clean their carpet. But I think with regards to getting an actual carpet cleaner, you have it. You can take it to any other property you have, and you can do it whenever you want. Do it on the go,
really.
Exactly. So rather than wait till your carpet is filled with stains, if there's a little bit
just
there,
do it on the go.
Get rid of it. And honestly, that is what has kept our carpets so fresh. We don't use it often. I think people might think we clean our carpets constantly.
As they might think we clean our carpet as often as we hoover the house.
Oh, we really don't. Like once in a while, we carpet.
Tip number 1: no shoe zone everywhere in the house. Yeah. No shoe zone.
That will keep your carpets really tidy, your tiles really clean. So use that.
Exactly.
Okay. And then now on to how we were able to rent out the property. So we've done the preparation.
Of course.
How do we do it?
When we were renting out, we approached an estate agent.
Agents, they can do tenant find for you. They can do rent collect only, and they can do fully managed. So
you were actually paying attention.
So you've got three. You've got three options. Okay, we decided to go for tenant find. So with that is in the name. So basically, they find the tenant for us.
They vet the tenant.
So how do you wanna?
So they find the tenant. They vet the tenant to make sure, of course, they have no CCJs or like credit debts and stuff like that.
They also check their references from the previous landlords. Yeah. They check their employment, that they are indeed in their place of work.
Yeah.
And now there's I don't know how new it is, but I know right now they have access to your bank statements and your bank account, so they can check what you're getting, where you're getting in and what's going out. So you can get someone who makes a lot of money, but equally they spend a lot of money. So that person would not qualify to rent in some cases. Yeah. So they have access to all of that. So I think we decided to go for that because it just gives us that peace of mind that whoever gets into the property is reliable and stable and
of course
will pay their rent.
And as well, going with them comes with the additional benefit of us having a platform on their website that keeps us in track with when things expire, when perhaps the boiler needs servicing, when rent is due, if rent is being paid on time and stuff. So we have a timeline of an account of this property and our tenant.
Yeah, so that was definitely is going to be very useful for us. The reason why we stayed away from rent collect and the other one fully managed is, as we said at the start, we're very hands-on. You know the vibes.
You know the vibes.
So we're very hands-on, and we like to take things under our wing. At the end of the day, if we're trying to do this long term, we need to get
stuck in
grips to it and not be afraid of the hard work it entails.
Exactly.
And along with that, with regards to once you have the renters ready, is different other things you have to have in place that will also help you and save you a bit of money, such as having an inventory. Exactly. Do you want to go over that?
I mean, with the inventory, I think that falls also under the category of a deposit protection, where basically whatever deposit that your tenant pays you, you essentially have it protected, and that protects both you and your tenants if they leave the property in a state that it wasn't in when you of course gave it to them in the first place. And that's where the inventory comes into play, where they come down, they record the property, they take photos about a day or two before the tenant moves in.
It has to be as close to the time of when the tenant comes in. So if the tenant was going to come in tomorrow, it should be done sometimes even the morning of when they come in. The sooner it is, the better, because then you know that this was literally how the property was just before you entered it.
So when they move out and you're swapping tenants, you can then say, right, okay, no, sorry, this carpet wasn't like this when I gave it to you. What's happened? And if there's any dispute, you then go to the inventory which you provide to the deposit protection people or company, and they then they can of course then
they make the decision. Well, it looks like so and so is telling the truth.
Exactly, and that's how it goes, really.
Yeah. There's a few other things out there, but of course we're still new to this, and this is all what we have experienced. So we're not in any way experts, and I'm sure we've missed out a lot of things. Yeah, and that's fine, because as we learn, we like
share with you guys exactly. And that's why we're here. I mean, I've said this in our previous vlog as well. A lot of our content is our real life experience. We're not making these things up. These are things that we are going through in life, and we're sharing with you guys. The reason why we came onto YouTube in the first place was when we were 25-year-olds, looking for advice on YouTube, on social media, on property at the time,
who had purchased a property and how they went about it. Because the first time we purchased, just so you know, we didn't use a broker. We did it on our own.
Yeah. And at that time, brokers weren't even big like that.
Yeah, you never really heard of, the broker can help you with it.
They weren't.
Like, you were just like, what's that?
Well, we couldn't find much content, if not any content, online. Nowadays, there's loads of them. Do you get where I'm coming from?
There's loads of YouTubers talking about it now. So it's something everyone knows now.
Exactly. So that's why we're here. So, of course, this whole renting out stuff is new to us. And once again, we're giving out the information. And as we go on, we will keep on feeding it to you guys, so when it's your turn, you know what to do.
Exactly. So make sure, guys, we're gonna wrap it up now. Make sure you do like this